Today we will do relations. We have done sets. We have done set A, set B, and if we want to write Cartesian product of A cross B, then it will be represented with A cross B. Fine. And we have also done that A cross B, the elements of A cross B will make some subsets, right? So a relation from set A to set B will be a subset of A cross B, right? So simply what I could say is relation is actually a subset. The thing which is very important to note over here, I'm saying that relation is a subset. It is a subset of A cross B. Fine. So this is the simplified form of a relation. Whenever we have any collection of elements of the form A cross B, then the subsets of this relation, the subsets of not this relation, the subsets of Cartesian product of A cross B will be a relation. Fine. And suppose A is any element which belongs to A, capital A, B is any element belongs to capital B, that and we are having a Cartesian product of A cross B, then we will say that A is related to B. Fine. And it will be written like this: A is related to B. Fine. For all A comma B belongs to relation R. Fine. And in case A is not related to B, we will cross over here. For all A comma B belongs to R. Fine. And in case we have the Cartesian product of A cross B, in case B becomes equal to A, then we will be left with A cross A, and this will be called as a relation in A only. Fine. Here we wrote that this is a relation from set A to set B, and if there is a relation from a set to itself, then we will say that this is a relation in A. In case we have B cross B, then this will be a relation in B, right? Apart from this, I want to say that we have done that phi is an element. Phi is a not an element, this is a subset which will belong to all the sets. Any kind of set we have, then phi will definitely will belong to that set. So we can say that phi will always be a subset of Cartesian product of two sets, right? So we will say that phi is always a relation from set A to B, or from a relation in A only, in a relation in B only. So phi is a relation, and the name of this relation is void relation. We also say to this set as a void set, empty set, right? In the same way, we have given name to this relation as void relation. Why I'm saying this relation? Previously in my previous video, I used the term void set for this. Here I'm saying void relation. Why? Because I have given definition of relation over here. Is relation is what? It is a subset. Actually, it is actually a subset of Cartesian product A to B. Fine. So phi is a subset in A cross B, so phi is a relation. So we are just focusing on the terminology. Now next is, I have told you that in case we are taking Cartesian product of A cross A, and in A cross A, every set is actually a subset of itself. So can I say that A is actually a subset of its own Cartesian product? So in this case I can say that A cross A is also a relation in A. So this is also a relation in A, and this relation is called as universal relation. Fine, universal relation. Next is identity relation. I want to explain about identity relation. Let we have a relation R, and R is a collection of all the ordered pairs A comma A such that for all A belongs to A, and we call this relation as identity relation. Identity relation is almost equal to universal relation actually. Fine, so this is an identity relation in A. Whenever you find any statement related to identity relation in a particular set, then you will use an ordered pair with same elements at domain and at range, and I will further explain what is domain and what is range. Fine, now come to another topic, which is domain of a function. Sorry, we are doing relations only yet, and we will do after some time functions. What is a domain of a relation or range of a relation? As we already know, we have any set. Let this set is the collection of all the elements A comma B such that A belongs to A and B belongs to B. Fine, and firstly I will consider a set. This is the collection of all the elements of A such that A B belongs to relation R. Fine, this is equation 1. Again I am considering all the collections of the first element in this set. Fine, and here I will consider all the collections of second element. This is a collection of all the elements B such that ordered pair AB belongs to a relation. This is second equation. This is the relation. We have defined a relation, and this is the collection of all the ordered pairs A B, where A belongs to A, B belongs to B. As I already told you that relation is a Cartesian product of A cross B, right? And firstly I am taking the collection of all the first elements. So first element of the ordered pair AB and the collection of all the first elements, or all the first elements of all the ordered pairs of a relation, so that collection is called as a domain. I will explain further with the example also. Fine, and for the time being just see the definition. Then the second collection, which is the collection of all the elements, all the second elements of the ordered pairs of relation R from A to B, so this collection is called as range. Fine, suppose I have set A, and this is the collection of 1 2 3. Fine, another set B, this is the collection of let's say A B. Fine, now I have defined a relation from A to B such that it is this is a relation from A to B such that it is represented as the collection of all the ordered pairs of the form X Y such that X belongs to first set A and Y belongs to B, such that relation क्या है? Relation is X is less than Y. This is the condition which has to be followed by both the elements, and in that case the ordered pair will be included into this relation. Fine, first of all, this is actually what these are subsets. First of all we will write all the subsets. Let us write all the subsets of A cross B, it is 1A. We have written x is less than y, so it will be better to use some number over here. Fine, you can use here 2 or 6, just to exemplify. 1 2 I want to use x should be less than y. I want to use 1 here because थोड़ी सी contradiction लानी चाहिए. It will be better understood then. So 1 1 1 6 2 1 2 6, then 3 1 3 6, right? Okay, fine. So don't just get confused over here. So this is we have Cartesian product and we have written all the subsets of A cross B. And what was the definition of a relation? What was the definition of a relation? Relation is actually a subset of A cross B which satisfied a particular condition given in the relation. So we will find subsets of, in order to define a relation on A cross B, we will write subsets of A cross B, because I told you subset relation is a subset. So we will write subset in A cross B, which subsets follow this condition, like x should be less than y. So the first element should be less than y. So the relation will be equal to x should be less than y. So we cannot write this 1 cross 1, sorry 1 1 1 1 should be less than x should be less than y. 1 is less than 6. So yes, we will write 1 6. Can we write 2 1? No, because x is not less than y. We will not write 2 6. Can we write? Yes, because 2 is less than 6. So write 2 6. 3 1. Can we write? No, because x is greater than y. So 3 6. Yes, we can write 3 6. So we are left with this relation. So this is a relation which is defined on defined from set A to set B, and this is a relation we have. ठीक है. Now we were doing domain. What is the domain? This is the collection of all the first elements of the ordered pairs in a relation. So all the first elements are these. So domain will be the collection of first elements. This is 1, this is 2, this is 3, right? So in the same way, what will be range? It is the collection of all the second elements of the ordered pairs B. So it will be 6 6 6. So 6 is the range. Fine. So this is all about relations and its domain. Fine. And the next thing we will do is types of relations. Relation can be called as a reflexive relation if all the ordered pairs of the form AA belongs to R, for all A belongs to A. So this, any relation which satisfies this condition, that relation is called as a reflexive relation. And next I will give you some example, and on the basis of that you will better understand the definition of a reflexive relation. Next is a symmetric relation. In a symmetric relation, we consider if we have any ordered pair AB which belongs to R, then it implies that BA should always also belongs to R. So if any relation follows this condition, that means that relation is a reflexive relation. Now third is antisymmetric relation, and this antisymmetric relation is like if any ordered pair of the form A B belongs to R and BA also belongs to R, then it implies that A is equal to B. So it is something here we were saying that if AB belongs to R, then it implies BA belongs to R. Here both the things, if AB belongs to R, BA belongs to R, then it implies that A is equal to B. And the last one is a transitive relation. In a transitive relation, we have any ordered pair of the form AB belongs to R and BC also belongs to R, and it implies that AC should also belongs to R. Fine. So we will we will remove these common terms, and we will write only extreme terms which are AC, and AC will also belongs to R. If this is a condition followed by a relation, that relation will be called as a transitive relation. Then we will talk about equivalence relation. If we have any relation which follows property of a reflexive relation, symmetric relation, transitive relation, then all these three conditions, if followed by any relation, then that relation will be called as an equivalence relation, right? And for equivalence relation, we will do an example, and with the help of that example I will explain that how we will prove that a relation is an equivalence relation. So let us take an example. We have a set or a collection I, and this is a set of all the integers. This is a question, and we will define a relation R on I such that A comma B, ordered pair AB will belongs to R, means this will belongs to this ordered pair will belongs to a relation R if and only if A minus B, means the difference of those two elements will be divisible by M, where M is a natural number. M is actually a natural number. Fine. And the question is, we have to prove that this is an equivalence relation. We have to prove that this is an equivalence relation. Fine. So for an equivalence relation, we have to prove these three conditions. First of all, for reflexive, just I have told you that we will consider only single element. So first of all, I want to define a relation. We have a relation R. As per the question, R is a relation which is the collection of all the ordered pairs A, B, such that this is a relation on I, so A and B will belong to I, and such that the condition is A minus B will be divisible by M, right? And this is a relation. Now I told you we will start with the first relation, which is reflexive. Now consider a single element A which belongs to I, right? And first of all, take this condition A, we have to take A at B also, and just consider this ordered pair, and the condition is A minus A is equal to 0, and we know that 0 is always divisible by all the numbers. Fine. So what we say is, yes, this ordered pair A satisfies this condition, so this relation is reflexive. Fine. And in mathematically we can say that for all the ordered pairs which belong to R, for all A belongs to I, I would say that all the ordered pairs of the form A belongs to R for all A belongs to A. Now consider the next relation, which is a symmetric relation. For a symmetric relation, as you already know, if AB belongs to R, then BA must belongs to R. Let us consider A comma B belongs to R, right? If A belongs to R, that means this ordered pair will follow the condition of this relation. That means A minus B will be divisible by M. So it implies A minus B will be divisible by M. Now we will rewrite this in such a way, just take out negative common from here, then we will be left with B minus A divided by M, right? If a negative of any term is divided by a particular number, which also means the positive of that number will also be divided by that particular number, right? So this implies that B comma A will also belongs to R. So AB belongs to R, at the end BA belongs to R. It shows that the relation is symmetric, right? Now come to the next type, which is transitive relation. And in transitive relation, we will consider two ordered pairs. First of all, let us consider A comma B belongs to R, right? It means A minus B will be divisible by M. And we will consider second order pair BC, which belongs to R. That means B minus C will also be divisible by M, right? So from 1 and 2, 1 implies, can I write A minus B divided by M? Quotient of this division is equal to K, or let us say is equal to K1. And as per equation 2, B minus C divided by M is equal to K2. So here I want to write A minus B is equal to MK1, and second equation is B minus C is equal to MK2. Now add both of these two equations. After adding, A minus B plus B minus C is equal to, here M can be taken out as common, K1 plus K2. Fine. And K1 and K2 will also belong to I, on which we are defining a relation I. Fine. This is cancelled out, and we are left with A minus C is equal to M. I'm going to write some other constant K, and this K also belongs to I. So as per this, A minus C divides by M, which is equal to K. So A comma C is an ordered pair belong to R such that A minus C is divisible by M. So we can say that A comma C belongs to R. So the condition of transitive relation is also followed by this this relation. Fine. So in this way we can say that this relation is an equivalence relation. Fine. So this is all about types of relations. Thank you so much for watching.